about being alive, getting motivated and happy, um, just about enjoying life. I have neighbors over top of me. I guess they're new. They're stomping and rejoicing. So I know today is going to be a good day. If you don't know me, my name is Gloria Ward, and I am the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project. And this is our Inspiration in 30, where we come together each and every morning around 7:30, if I can make it on time, to come and talk about those things that will inspire you to get you along your day. And today, one of the things that I want to talk about is how you fight through the struggle. Hey, Vanessa, how you fight through the struggle. But before I get to that, I just want to thank each and every one of you who come on and you be with me in the morning, and we can converse and talk and just have a good time. These inspiration in 30s really help me, stay on track and make sure that I'm giving you that inspiration so that you can make some good decisions in your life. So I don't have any news right now outside of the Girls Leap launch. We finished our last coach, I think Friday, I believe. Hey, Lee. And then after that, we're going to open it up to all of you guys. We want you to come. We want you to be a part of it. That's where we're going to do the real work. And tonight, again, I'm going to interview a human trafficking survivor. And I want you guys to come on because all of the information that we've been gathering over the course of this month has been mind blowing. Like the things that we think is happening is really not happening. Like I said, they're out there recruiting families and kids and all these people to actually push this $1 billion business. And they taking these girls out of town, out the country. They doing all crazy things. So we're going to hear from a survivor tonight at 8 o'clock. And I want you guys to join so that you could just be aware and that you can hear why it is important to have the power of self-love, but also what to watch out for when you're out going to the grocery stores and the malls and all these things. It's not to scare you, but to educate you. Okay? So let's get to it. How do you fight through this struggle? Right. And I took some notes because I was watching this TED talk on this lady who said that she lost both of her brothers, one to suicide and the other to a car accident. And one of the things that she said is that she struggled so much, throughout her life and the course of her day because of that traumatic experience. She wasn't sure how she was going to get through it. Right. But one of the things that came to me right away is that we all struggle. This is something that we don't want to hear. We don't want to admit to ourselves, and we don't want to go through. But we all struggle. It is part of human nature. There is no way around struggle and pain. Let's go ahead and get that in our brain, right? Ever since the creation of life, man has struggled in order for them to move through life and get to the next level and where they want to be. So you are no different than the richest man in the world or the poorest man in the world. We all struggle, and it's a guaranteed thing that we go through. And the reason why we don't like the struggle is because we don't like the pain that goes along with it, right? We don't want to be uncomfortable. We love being where we are. We don't have no problems. We're good. Nobody's bothering us. Nobody's getting on our nerves. We just in our place, eating our food, watching our TV, going to work and being happy, right? That's considered to be happy for us because everything is quiet. Well, the problem with that is that you're not growing. You're stuck in one spot and nothing is happening. There is nothing that is exciting going on in your life when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Things change when you start to struggle. I'll give you an example. Now, everybody knows what a caterpillar goes through, right? You have this little caterpillar, they get inside the cocoon, and then all of a sudden they start to struggle in their little cocoon where all these little enzymes and all this stuff is like breaking down and all that stuff or whatever, right? And you see them squirming and moving around, going through their process to become a butterfly. Now, I answer this question for me. If you saw that butterfly and you said to yourself, oh my God, the butterfly is struggling, is moving around and all that stuff. Let me cut it out so it could be free, so it won't suffer anymore. What do you think will happen to that butterfly, that caterpillar? One, all of the things that it needs to grow will just fall right out, right? The second thing is it will never reach its full potential because you didn't allow it to go through the struggle to become the butterfly that it was supposed to be. Does that make sense? The struggling and the transformation process has to happen in order for you to become a totally different person. And when that happens, look how beautiful you come out. Look how much you gain. Look how much you learn, right? So we have to learn how to embrace the struggle, even if we don't like it. They are there because those are opportunities for you, right? They are there because that's God knocking on you, telling you something. Hey, Lee. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Vanessa. And everyone else who's listening, you got to grow. We got to go through this transformation process. We got to get ready. We got to get moving. And it hurts. And it's uncomfortable. But I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'll tell you guys a story. And you guys know I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time, right? And I remember in 2012, when I had my other business, I had my marketing business. I was working with a partner, right? And in the beginning, we struggled to get everything going, and I was still doing my IT business like now. And then all of a sudden, the business just took off. We went from making probably $300-400 a month to making like over 100 grand or more a month, right? And I just was like, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Finally, something has worked out because I've been struggling and trying to figure things out, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this is working. And we were on a roll for like a good 6-7 months, maybe even more, for like a year. And then all of a sudden, things started to get uncomfortable. We weren't managing our money well. We had merchants taking our money. We had people demanding their money. We couldn't pay the people because our merchant, the credit card people, was holding our money because they said, you're not Walmart, you're not Target. Why are you making so much money this quickly? And you're supposed to be a small business, right? But when you online, there's so many people, you can make as much money as you want. And at that time, they really didn't understand like now how it works, right? And so they start holding our money. We couldn't pay our staff. We couldn't do anything. And can I tell you, the anxiety that came with that was crazy. I mean, I was having heart palpitations. I could not sleep. A homegirl was constipated, like everything that you can think of as far as the stress levels I was going through. Not because I was doing something wrong, but that was the struggle when you grow a business. And I didn't know that, right? And when I tell you, we suffered so much. We suffered so much. I mean, I was telling my then husband how upset I was, and I was trying to, get out and get away, but that didn't work either. And eventually, um, we had to let the business go. But I told myself, I said, man, you know, this shit ain't right. Like I was on the road with my goals and all that stuff or whatever. And then now here I am with nothing. Then of course, remember, I'm already going through what I'm going through in my marriage, right? So I'm drinking more and I'm going out more, right? And I'm doing all the stuff I want to do more. And I'm going to jail more, right? And in court more. Like everything that was negative I had increased until I told y'all that my rock bottom is when I ended up at that job that I didn't like, making $1,000 every 2 weeks, $2,000 a month. Now that might be good for other people, but for me, that was such a setback because I knew I was worth more than that. But what I didn't understand is that inside my struggle, I never took a step back. I just went down the rabbit hole, right? I went down that rabbit hole so far, y'all. When I hit that rock bottom, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was saying, what the hell is wrong with you, Chloe? What is wrong with you? Why can't you get out of this situation? Why is it such a struggle? Why are you going back and forth? Right? But what I didn't understand and what I didn't know and what I could not see was that all of those experiences was preparing me for this moment. How? Because if everything would have went well, if everything would have went well with that business and everything, I would not be here. I would have never found my purpose. And that's the reason why we have to fight through the struggle, because it is in the struggle that you find your purpose. It is in the struggle that you discover who you really are. And I was a mess. I was down on myself. I was always stressed out. I couldn't handle the pressure. I was sleeping a lot, drinking a lot, going to jail, going to court. Like I wasn't doing well at all, right? I wasn't doing well at all, because you know what the struggle shows you? Shows you who you really are. It shows you how strong you are mentally, right? Because you got to have the mental strength to strengthen the emotional, the physical, and the all of the psychological parts of you, right? In order to be able to handle the struggle. And I went downhill. I could not, I did not do anything, whatever. I went down that rabbit hole. I crashed and burned. I blamed everybody. I did everything until I went and I looked in that mirror. And I said, here I am. Here I am. Y'all. And listen to where I was. Here I am, a person who lost an entire business, who marriage was over, who got another DUI and hit somebody and crashed a car, who spent 2 days in jail, who had to go to court for another DUI that I got. You get what I'm saying? Because I was being reckless. Also, move out my place into another place because we were separating, and go to a job that I hated because I knew I was more than what they were giving me. But in my mind, in my mental mind, I wasn't strong enough And so I took whatever they can give me and I lowered my value and lowered my worth. And I sat there not only for 6 months, 1 year, for 2 whole years. For 2 whole years, I was in that shit for 2 years. And I kept finding, kept finding little things to do, trying to figure out what is the right thing for me. I mean, and my friends, if they on here, they'll tell you. I mean, I went from selling oils and incense to doing herbal stuff. Like I was trying to figure it out, right? Because the one thing that we don't like is when we in the struggle is how our mentality and our mind gets, because we lose it, right? And then one day I'm sitting in this here apartment right here, and I sat down and I looked at myself and I said, Glow, all of that stuff you went through, what is it for? Why did you go through all of that? Right? I just started asking myself questions. And I got it from reading Michael Beckwith book. You Are the Answer, I think it is, or something like that. I forgot. But it was the whole thing of asking yourself empowering questions. And I sat there and I did it because I had to be at this job. I'm telling y'all, I had to be at this job at 8:30 and put orders together. It was kind of like working at Amazon, but it was for something else, a different product. And I was not good at the job. I was not good at the job at all. I mean, I told you they tolerated me only because I was, I don't know, I guess I showed up. I was disciplined. That's probably the only reason why they tolerated me. If you ask them, they'll probably give you a look, right? But I said I can't do this. The struggle had to be something. Just like that caterpillar is moving around and going through all that stuff inside that cocoon, when we look at our life and we see that we are struggling, what we have to know is that we have to fight through the struggle because there's opportunity that's coming out of it. Our purpose is coming out of it. And the only way that we can see it is when we are able to sit with ourselves and understand and ask ourselves these mental questions so that we could figure out what's going on around us. If you take my route, you might be stuck in that rabbit hole for years and years and years. The only reason why I was able to get myself out is because deep inside me, I knew that I was better than what I was living and what I had because I experienced it before. Does that make sense? I've experienced being at my full potential. And when I was here and I was hurting every day and couldn't use the bathroom and stressed out and all that stuff, I knew that this was somewhere that I should not have been. So I won't say it was easy for me to get out, but I knew that I knew enough to have tools. I hope that makes sense. Some of us don't have tools and we stay in that cycle for years and years and years. And that's the reason why I'm having this conversation with you, because if you are stuck in a struggle and you're trying to fight through a struggle, I want to tell you how you get through it. Okay? How you get through it. Because people won't tell you. They'll sit there and tap you on the back and tell you, pray about it. How many times you heard that? Pray about it. Don't worry. The Lord will get you through. That might be true, right? But right now, I'm not feeling that, right? Right now, I'm in the middle of this. And I can't see beyond my struggle. I can't see beyond my situation. How can you help me? How can you help me see something different when this shit hurts? where I feel like I'm stuck. And here it is. The first thing you have to do is you have to get quiet and get by yourself. That's the first thing. Because when you're in a struggle, you're trying to hang on to everything, right? You're trying to make sure everything works out and you hold it together. Trust me, been there. You're trying to make sure that you keep everything together and you're like in this survival mode. You have to be able to let it go for a while and get by yourself. And that time that you have by yourself, the first question you ask is, with everything that's going on, what is this teaching me? What am I learning about myself right now? Now that might sound crazy to you, but that's a powerful question. What am I learning about myself right now? What is this teaching me? And it'll start to come to you. I'm either a little bit disorganized. I'm not making enough money. I'm paying for all of my past mistakes. It'll start to come to you, right? And once you start to ask yourself that question, the next thing that you want to do is you want to figure out how you can look at everything that you're doing and how you can do it just a little bit smarter than what you're doing now. Because you got to remember, struggles are opportunities. What you're doing is you're learning and you're growing, right? They're opportunities. You're busting out of the old you and you're transforming yourself into something different. And that requires struggle. That requires you to be uncomfortable. But while you're in it, you have to see the opportunity. You have to see that butterfly you're going to become in the end. Does that make sense? That's where hope comes in. That's where faith comes in. That's why it's there, ladies. That's why God gave it to us. That's why most of the stuff in the Bible says you gotta have faith, because you can't evolve or do anything without struggle. So you gotta be able to hold on to something that will allow you to push through. Here's what I'm saying: not people, not things, you, your faith, your belief. You get that? People are not going to do it for you. People are imperfect. They will leave you like this. A dog, an object, going shopping, drinking, all that stuff is not going to do it. It's just going to mask it. And once that mask is off, honey, you got a bigger problem. Right? But what we know is we hang on to our faith and we hang on to the hope that we are going to get out on the other side, even when we can't see it. But here's what I would tell you too, because a lot of people believe that blind faith and blind hope will work. No, no. Hear what I'm saying? You have the faith and the hope that you're gonna come out, but you still gotta do the work. You still gotta go through the struggle. You don't just sit there and just be like, I'm gonna let God take this, I'm gonna let it go, He gonna do it, and I'm gonna just sit back and wait. That's not how it works. What's that Bible thing? Faith without works is dead. We ain't dead. We very much alive, right? So the way it works as to how you fight through your struggle is you accept first that you know that life is not going to be perfect for you, that you are going to struggle, that the only way that you grow is through struggle, that the only way that you can break through the mold and take your life to the next level is if you struggle. Take a look at where you are now. How much did you struggle to get to where you are now? If anybody can answer that question, I would love to hear it. How much of a struggle was it to get you to where you are now? And then ask yourself, was it all worth it? You struggled to get that job, that education, that position, that business, that keep your marriage together, all that stuff, that divorce, all that, everything, right? You struggled with your sobriety, abuse, whatever it is that you went through. It happened. But what did it turn you into? Right? Now, hear me too. Doesn't mean that you come out 100% perfect, but we do learn something along the way, right? The butterfly is beautiful when it comes out with its wings and everything, but it doesn't mean that it's perfect. Do you hear me? And it doesn't mean that it is the end of the struggle. Because what we do is we get to this point in our life where you are right now, and you know what you say to yourself? Whew, glad I got through that. I'm chilling now. I ain't doing nothing else. I ain't doing nothing else. And then all of a sudden, something in you starts to say, hey, Kathy. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, Treese. Hey, Kim. We can't stay here. We can't do this. No. We need to get moving. We need to do something more. This is not our life. We got up to this point, but what else? Is this it? And you say to yourself, no, this is not it. I could do more. I could do more with my life. And what happens when you start to try? Here come that struggle again, right? Because you're going into something new. So you got to accept that it's there and it's going to be there. You have to have that faith and hope. And it's not faith in things, it's faith in yourself. I will always bet on myself before I bet on somebody else, because if things go wrong, that's on me. And it's just a lesson. But I bet on myself. Does that make sense? I believe more in me than anybody in this world. I believe in you, but I don't want to believe in you more than you believe in you. You get it? One of the other ways, and I wrote this down, is if it gets too much for you and it's something that you know that you can't control, that you cannot keep or pull together, then at that point, let it go. Let go of the struggle, because you holding on to something that's probably not good for you. If it's too much resistance and it's not going in the direction of where you want it to be or go, let it go. Don't hold on to that man because you think you want a relationship and all that, and it gotta work and you gonna try and you gonna try because people don't get divorced in your family and all this stuff, the opportunity might be on the other side. If it's too much resistance for you, where it's becoming violent, where you just can't keep it together and you're trying to hold on, honey, it is time to let it go. If that job is becoming overbearing, things are just not working out, you can't get along with anyone, then that is a message that it is time to go. Right? And you will know when it is time to let go of the struggle when nothing is working out for you. Just like I said with my business, nothing. When I say nothing, nothing worked out. Why? Because that wasn't my purpose. That wasn't my purpose. And as much as we try to claw and hold on and hold on and hold on, eventually God is going to let the brick fall on our head so that we can get it. And he's going to say, Lee, look, this is not for you. Let it go. Sylvia, Vicky, let it go. And once you let it go, the first thing that you feel is relief. And then the second thing that you start to feel is the feeling of loss, but that's okay. But you start to feel this rebirth of who you are. And that's when you allow opportunities to come. That's when you open the door to so many beautiful things, right? My grandmother used to tell me, honey, never hold on to something that don't want you. Don't hold on to something that is not for you and don't want you. Don't hold on to a place where you know you're going to be disrespected. Take the time to fight through the struggle and bet on you. Bet on you. Bet on you. And understand and know that it is going to be hard. Nothing is ever easy. Rome wasn't built in a day. People, the way this country was built was out of war and all that trouble and everything. Your struggle is no different from someone else's struggle. We're not going to sit up here and compare struggles. Oh, you went through this, but you ain't never experienced this. Struggle is struggle, right? But what we look at is the opportunities that come out of it, the beautiful things that come out of it, and how we evolve and grow. Okay? So the message for today is to embrace the struggle and smile about it. Because if you are struggling with something, there's opportunity somewhere. And that's what you got to pay attention to and say, damn, if I'm struggling this hard, there's something that's coming out of this. I gotta sit by myself and see what that is. Because I'm working too hard. I'm struggling too hard. Is there opportunity here? Or do I need to just let this shit go? You know what I'm saying? And with faith and hope and discernment, you'll find out the answer. Okay? I love y'all. I gotta go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, fight through the struggle. 10% of what happens to you, 10% is what happens to you, and 90% is how you react. Okay? I love you guys. I see you. All right. See you tomorrow.